Hello everyone, I would like to go over StatCrunch from chapter 1 through chapter 3. I will demonstrate an example to compute mean, median, box plot, and standard deviation, whatever you need from chapter 1 through 3, but this will be combined, okay? So you follow along and watch whenever you want to learn more. Actually, in Pearson, they do have a lot of demonstration for StatCrunch, but I would like to do demonstration like I told you, previous lecture that I didn't have a chance to run StatCrunch by itself. So I'm gonna do it. So let me share my screen. In order to first run StatCrunch, what are you gonna do? You log on your Pearson account because you purchased that and you pay for it already. So you are welcome to log on. And like I show you, you see when you log on your course and then you scroll all the way down to see the word StatCrunch right here. You click StatCrunch. And if you want to practice the data set from the textbook, you can try that. All the data set, like a lot of them. So you can pick whatever set that you like to compute, to practice over and back and forth. But for the StatCrunch that I usually do StatCrunch website because I usually create or got a smaller value, smaller data. So I don't have to type a lot in for to run whatever I need. So I clicked on that and then I open StatCrunch and you will see this window loading. You notice here they got variable 1, variable 2, and so on. You can rename this, okay? You can rename whatever you want. So for the box from the row 1 to all the way down here is the data that maybe on the exam, I will be the one who write the data. You will be the one open this and then type in the given value from me and to run whatever that I need you to compute. And then when you're done running, you have to screenshot from your solution and then copy and paste or do whatever, or you can redraw it, the solution box for me to look at it. But I prefer that you can copy and cut and paste directly on your document exam final or any exams. But it's up to you. You got many options that I'm flexible, but you have to be detailed enough for me to look at your work and understand your work. If I don't understand it, I won't give you full credit. So you have to do something that have to be like obvious, like detailed enough for me to read. So right here, let me using the example about the height of the children to run to find mean, standard deviations, draw a box plot, draw a dot plot, whatever from chapter 2. And I'm just using one set of data to run everything. Okay, so let me copy down and paste. Before I'm doing that, I would like to stop the video so that you can, I can easier, put in the data set here. So let me copy down this. Let me see, copy and paste. Click on here. You change name. So I talk about the height. So you tend to the height name. And then from here, way down, you scroll down and see if we can insert right column rename. I did rename that. You can restart a column. You can short table ascending or descending order. So for any data, it's just random. I don't mind. So let me just insert, copy paste here. Let's insert one right. You don't want to insert one right. You want to insert that. If you want to insert more column, one left, one right, you can do it, but I don't want it, so I delete that. Let me see, I can copy down the data. Did I copy it? Let me go back to the PowerPoint. You got 48, 48, 53, 53.5, 54, 60, 62, 71. Total, hey, how many? 2, 4, 6, 8. $54, 60, 62, 71. So let me count how many. I got a 48, 48. I can remove this row. All right, I'm having the following data. As you can see, total is 8 data, right? So let's now, you look at the first tab, they have StatQuant, you have about, site out, result, and session applets. So applet is very cool. So you notice applet you can you can practice for applets is like you practice randomly data. So for confident interval, but I'm not using this a lot. Confident interval for a mean, a plotter, contingency table. Contingency table is two-way table, so we don't do it. So you're not going to use that one. Correlation by eyes. You look at you estimating the relationship between x and y value. We got games, histogram with slider, hypothesis test with for a proportion. You learn this in chapter A. Confident interval you learn in chapter 7. Mean, median. So this is what I need. So I can show you how to practice, how to compute this by using that data. But right here, look at let me see data from the table. So I click data from the table. Okay, so I'm not using randomly generated data. So that is for applets. So you run whatever you want, but I don't want that. I want my data from the table here. And I select the column. I select hide column, you see? That's my variable. Compute mean and median. To compute mean and median for this, I compute both. I can compute IQR too. I want to compute my standard deviation too. So this is the way that you don't have to compute by hand. You can using StatQuant to do it. And let me see the part size. For this one, I don't think you need it. So you just ignore it. Just default and put that default. Okay. Seeding for random data, you dynamic seed. So right here, just they set that default, so I don't bother to touch that. I would like to move this a bit down here. So let's compute this to see what happened. So you look at here, the data from 48 to 71 is right here. You see, right? So all the data low to high, like here. Here look like they already put in order. I did type in order already. The sample size n is 8, so you count from 1 to all the way to 8. So that's correct. And the mean that I would like to command this to compute is the mean. They add up everything and divide it by 8. They have 58.188, and the median is 53.73. And the standard deviation is 7.782. IQR, they got this value is from Q3 minus Q1, but even though they don't show really what is Q3, Q1 is, but when you run StatQuant, you have to take a picture of this whole thing for me. By how? You go to option, you say copy, and then you paste on your document, blank document, okay? and or you want to save it somewhere, you save it on your desktop or whatever. But if you copy directly. So please learn this, practice back and forth. You have to copy everything for me to see it. Okay, so you can or you are lazy, then you just copy down the box and the sample size and show me detail enough. Right here, they're using the dot plot. You see that the big circle, not big, but to me it's big. The circle, the small circle right here represent for one data. So right here you got two data, 80, 48, you got two dots overlap of each other, like line up, they stack up. It should not like exactly overlap of each other. They sometimes overlap a bit if it's too much data. But right here is not very a lot, so they stack up the data if they have the same value. And you notice the red color represent for the median, right? Right here, the median, and the green color represent for the mean, exactly the value right there. You play back and forth, play around with this, please. Orange color represent for the interquartile range. The formula is Q3 minus Q1, which is they're talking about the middle 50% of the data from here to here. Okay, they check that range. And the blue color, the standard deviations is like about 8. The standard deviations right here. So anyway, so here is the rough way roughly demonstrate that you can compute by StatCrunch by finding mean, median. Standard deviation is important in IQR. Some of you like don't like the formula from the PowerPoint from the textbook to compute the standard deviation like a long way. I don't mind at all. You can use StatCrunch, show me the value like this. And show me the data on the column here too. Here, for me to see it. Take a picture of the whole thing, maybe I'll minimize them somehow and fit in the page. Whatever you want to do, show me clearly, you got full credit. Because here is this technology is very helpful, and I think it's convenient and is realistic, right? So when you graduate, or you at least know the software or something, but to apply to your job. But at least somebody's talking about StatCrunch, you know it, you can compute right away like this. So let me try to simulate this. So we're done with this exercise. Okay, if the question asking about mean, median, standard deviation, and IQR, this is how you do it. I would like to demonstrate something else right now. And let me see. You check this. Okay, so you going around. See that? It's very cool that this applet lets you explore how mean, standard deviation, and median IQR are affected by different data value. You click on the graph, drag the point. You can play around with this to change the value. That's how applet's gonna be. But if you don't want it, that's fine. You don't want to practice. You understand it already. You don't need to worry about it. Add point. When you add point, you can add more point. You can type in any input here. For example, if I type in, let's say 49, click OK. So the value 49 jumps in here will make your data change. See that your data changed, like different value. It's become like more data. Like 13, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you see this dot now become 13. Now this value is not really exactly this data anymore, because you are simulate that with different value. The total, just the value from 48 to 71, whatever, is just run it. So let me simulate. Simulate is you changing the data like different value. Like I want like 550 or 170, stuff like that. That's what it means. Simulate. You learn how to see the graph differently, and how is the mean, median, standard deviation, IQR differently. You simulate randomly. So this is, we call another word, random sample. You simulate randomly. All right, so reset. We'll just go back to original. Look like go back to original one. Okay, so let me close this and try to use this set to do something else. So you did mean, median, standard deviation, IQR, which is chapter 3. This is all chapter 3. Okay, how about chapter 2? What is it? Chapter 2, you're learning about graph. So I'm going to use this data to graph. Let me see. In order to do graphing, you go to graph. You see this tab? You got many types of graph, but actually in this textbook, you don't have to graph the whole thing, right? So each graph, you understand a bit. You learn histogram, you learn stem and leaf, you learn box plot, dot plots, scatter plots. You will learn, what else? I think that's it. Pie chart, you learn pie chart, and I think that's it. Okay, so let me demonstrate pie chart first, and then I jump to the graph that you learned in chapter 2 and so on in the future. Let's for pie chart with summary. Let me see. So check that. For this, I picked the data. I picked the variable is height. Let's see, counts in height, and this play the count percent of the total. So they will automatically convert this value into percentage compared to the total for me. And let me see, and everything set up like default, and I don't touch that. And I go all the way down here. I click compute. Let me move this up here. Let's see what happened. Look beautiful, correct? So this pie chart, you notice for the given data, the height right here, 48 inches, how many is it? 48, they got a blue color, represent for 21.36% of the total of the data. See that 53 represent for 11.79%. And so on and so on. Each of this color pie chart very beautiful. Even though my data is numerical data, but for categorical data, it still accept that. And it's make beautiful color like this. If the way that you are setting up, you want to know like 100% for 48 inches and so on, then you see this colorful. So this is the pie chart look like. You see that the percent is right here, okay? So if the question asking you to run pie chart for any set, you type in and run like me, okay? And you copy down or copy paste the whole picture. It's pretty picture here. Okay, so the next graph, I'm using the same data for my, let's say histogram. The histogram, and I have to select my height variables. And then, so see that the type right here, we say frequency, it means they will make the vertical column become percentage. I'm sorry, frequency, which is the repeating number, just like the frequency only, but relative frequency will be the percentage. So it's up to you. Is when we're talking about histogram, usually they're talking about relative frequency. They will convert right away for us into percentage. And I would like to mark the mean and medians on my graph. So I make that. And this is all optional. For the bin, I would like, because we are having not too many data, if you have like 100 data, we will set up the bin. The bin start at 0 here, and then like how many width that you want. But right here, so I can try it. I can put 0. All the time you put a 0 at first. And the width I would like, so here, let's say 2 or 6, 8. Let's make it, the bin is 2 units apart, which is like, 2 units apart. So for example, 48, 49, 50, right? So 2 units apart. And from 50 to 51, 52 is 2 units apart. 53, 54, 2 units apart, stuff like that. So you will see it. So with you setting up like this, if you're having a lot of data, I recommend you to start at 0 and the width would be 5 or 7. 5 to 7 is better. But the histogram will changing depend on how you set up the bins. Okay, remember that. Okay, let me let me try to compute this. Let's see what happened. So right here, you see the graph histogram. Some apart, some stick to each other. Right here, the apart because the way that I'm setting up the bin is 2, so it's not really close. So the way that you're reading it, you see that when I scroll my my mouse there, I can see my height. The range will be including 48 and excluding 50. So you see from 48, 49, 50, the width is only 2. See that? But the way that histogram reading is, they don't count the 50. They will count 50 for the next value, the next column, and so on. Okay, so right here you see a relative frequency right there. They say it's 25% or 0.25, which is 25%. And the square bracket is mean including 48, and circle bracket right here, right at the 50 is will be not including 50. Let me mark the box right here. This box. This box, they start from 52 to 54. The reason there's space in there because 50 to 52, they don't have anything. They don't. The given data, they don't include those values, so we don't have it. So it's empty. So the next column you see is 52 included and excluding 54. Again, the percentage, which is 0.25 or 25%. And the next one you notice is here is the red color is represent for median is 53.7. Okay. The next box, the third box is 54 to 56, and relative frequency or percentage will be 0.125 or convert to percent will be 12.5%, and so on. That's how you read the histogram. So let me change the bin width so that you can see the differences. You go to graph, you go to histogram. Now you click the height, and now I would like to start at 0. Now I would like to, my width will be 4. You will see the differences here. Okay, this time I don't want to mean the median anymore so that you can see easier with the graph. Let me compute. You see this? So now this histogram is not as same as the first one. See, now is they make the data into this 1, 2, 3, 4 box. Let me make my mouse in here. See, frequency is 2. The height they got from 48 to 52 now, not 50. See, so because why? Because the width that I want is 4. So you count 48, 49. For 50, 51, 52, it's 4. But they exclude 52, include 48. Over here, 52 to 56, so 4 again, and exclude 56. The frequency total is 3. They accumulate up from 52 to 56. The total of the data is, you can count right here. So remember this 52 to 56. Let me go back to the original data. 52, we don't have it, but we have 53. We have that's 1 data. 53.4 is 2 data. 54 is 3, right? But we don't have 56, so we exclude 56. So we have frequency total is here is 3. That's how it's say. Okay, so I'm done with histograms. So let me see what graph that I would like to graph. So let's say stem and leaf. Height. Optional, you don't have to do that. Extreme, extreme. So compute. So this is the stem and leaf graph look like for this data. And let's say decimal points is 1 digit to the right of the column. You see here? left unit is 1. So the number here, we don't write 0, 1, 2, 3 because we don't have the stem from 0 to 3, so we can ignore it. But the stem from 4, 5, 6, 7 is right here. See? We got stem for, we got 2 value, so they write 8, which is 48, 48. Got a stem 5, we got this 53, 53.5, and 54. We have 3 values. So we have also the decimal, so they round up. So they make it, they round this up to 4. Okay, they don't accept decimal. So the 6 is good. This is a good example for you to look at the stem and leaf. And the 60, you got 60 and 62, you got 2 values for stem 6 and 1 value 71 for stem 7. That's how the stem and leaf look like. You just copy and paste exactly this on your test if they have the question like this. And next graph, box plot. Box plot will be in 3.4, 3.5. And you need to, because you learn quartiles, so you need to know how to graph box plot. And I recommend you to use StatQuant to graph that with mean and median included. You can draw the box horizontally or vertically. So I like horizontally because it's look easier for me. Vertically it's fine, but if you don't click this, your graph will become vertically. I did check here, use fences to identify outliers because, so using this tool, helping you to cut off the unusual data, which is the outliers. Usually the outliers will scram up all the data set that you have. It's make your graph not look exact. It's not help you to estimate correctly. So you should make the fences to stop outliers from the left and from the right of the data. If it doesn't have any outliers, that's good. But if it does, then it help you. It help us to stop it. To compute the, again, if you start crunch, you have to show me detail enough for me to read it. If you compute by hands from the lecture, you're okay with that too. Totally fine. So now let's compute. So this is the box plot, how the box plot look like for this data. In order to read the data, you need to make sure you make your mouse go into the box so that you can see the value. The total value is 8. IQR is computed for us is 10.5 by, they already compute Q3 and Q1 already is take away, by the way. Lower limit, you notice is 48, the lowest value, the lower value out from the observed data. And the upper limit, which is from the observed data, is 71. Q3, oh, it's compute Q3, Q1 right there, you see? Q1 is 50.5 and Q3 is 61. They take that, subtract of each other, you will get 10.5 IQR right there. Median is computed for us is 53.75. But if the question asking for the mean, then you scroll your mouse to the red color. Oh, this is the median. So the mean is maybe the green. There you go. 56.1875. So make sure you copy down everything and got the picture for me. And you look at we call the whisker right here. The whisker right here will be the lowest value, which is 48. This is your highest value. Look like for this set doesn't have outlier. If it does, then you have to name it too for me. That's how the box plot look like. So let me make one more example, have the outlier for you. So let me make 90 right here. I just add the data more. And I run my box plot. I would like you to see the outlier. So how the outlier appear. So again, I make that become horizontally. I would like to name mean and median too and compute. So now you look at this graph, there's outlier appear on the graph. It's right here. This dot is 90% for the outlier. The rest of the data is just the same, right? So, and you name here for me. You name here, you write on here, outlier. You're done. If the graph have the outlier. So, and you also notice the box is kind of, I don't know, this is similar to the first one or not. Let me see. Let me check this one. I believe it's similar. It's just the same thing. Let's see. 54 for the median. Oh, the change is changed. So the box plot changed in the middle 50 of the data. So let me check one more time. You're okay with this? Okay, so you can practice by type on your own and copy paste the picture if you like. If not, you just watch whatever that I demonstrate so that you can remember how to run it. That's it. So let me erase 90 to see and go back to the box plot. I would like to see if it's changing or not. Okay, click the draw box horizontally. Perfect, it's changed, right? So if the data more in, they will be changing by compute the mean, median, everything. Especially mean and median, and Q1 and Q3 will be changing. Look like everything changed. But here doesn't have outlier. It look like compared to the first and this one. So this one doesn't have 90, doesn't have outlier. You will see different right away if you compare them. So now the next graph is, let me see. We have done box plot. How about dot plot? Dot plot, everyone know it. I run a very beginning of this video. Let's see, compute. So I don't need mean and median. It's not asking. So this is my dot plot. This represents for all of my data. Okay. Again, you want to copy it, you go to option, copy it, and paste on the new page. Now next, would like to see the scatter plot. Scatter plot you will learn in chapter 4. Chapter 4 you will learn about we call dependent variable and independent variable. They have different names, explanatory variable and another name. So you would check back with chapter 4. So over here you have to have two variables, x and y, but right here I only have the height. I have to make another variable to make the scatter plot, which is, I would like to make more, maybe I make the weight. I would like to see the relationship between the height and the weight. If they have a relationship, but wait a minute. So this video is only for chapter 1 to 3. So I think I will stop. I will go a new video for chapter 4, 5, and 6 later. So let me see if I can draw a different graph for you. Okay, I think that's it. That's all that the graph that you will learn in a class. That's it. Okay, I hope you have fun with this. This video for chapter 1 through chapter 3. Look, like chapter 1 you don't have anything to do because it's just definitions, right? All right, class. See you next time.